We're currently in the book of James, so let's jump right into it. James chapter 1, verses 9 through 11. Let the lowly brother glory in his exaltation, but the rich in his humiliation, because as a flower of the field he will pass away. For no sooner has the sun risen with a burning heat than it withers the grass. Its flower falls, and its beautiful appearance perishes. So the rich man also will fade away in his pursuits. When I graduated high school, I got my EMT. I worked in an ambulance for a little bit. But when I was training to be an ambulance operator, I did not like being in training. I wanted to be a firefighter, and so when I was training, I'm like, I don't want to do this. And then I went to college so I can get a degree, and I just thought, I don't want to be in college. And, you know, kind of looking back at my past, a lot of it is me kind of being very discontent with where I was. And, you know, it was a little depressing. There's a lot of times where we're just not satisfied with where we are, and we're constantly pursuing one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And, you know, it kind of makes me think, is life really all about those kinds of pursuits? To constantly be chasing the material. And I think that we can get caught up in that sometimes. I think when we look at God for who he is and we look at what he's given us, we gain a level of humility. And what I think that builds is character. And character is so important is because character helps us through hardship. And it helps us more than any material thing, because if you think about money, money is spent. And when you think of, you know, a degree, it's just a piece of paper. And when you think of, you know, all of these things are temporary. And what God wants to do is, a lot of times he just wants to build who we are. He wants to build a relationship with him. He wants to build our humility. He wants to build our patience. Pay close attention to Luke chapter 12, verse 15, where it reads, "Take heed and beware of covetousness, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of the things he possesses." And this is so important because I feel like when you have all of these advertisements and all these YouTube ads and all of these posters and all these billboards, and they're trying to sell you something, and they say, hey, you want this, you need to buy this, you know, you need to get this new thing, and you got to get the next phone, you got to get this new laptop, and you get, like, it's so easy to get caught up because we want it and we want to be gratified. But, you know, honestly, life's not all about all this stuff, because all this stuff is going to pass. Let's take the time to just take a step back and to breathe. To not just get caught up in this cycle of getting and getting and getting. And I think what God's trying to exercise in us is contentment. To be able to look at our lives and to understand that life is temporary. We're like grass, you know? It's green one day and it goes the next day. And you know what? Our lives are fragile. Yeah, work hard for your degree. Yeah, work hard to make money. But understand that your value and your sense of worth does not come from the things that you possess. It comes from how God looks at you. And the way that God looks at you is he loves you. That's it for today. All right? So let's not be like the rich man who just goes off and tries to pursue all these different things. Let's have a measure of humility, and let's have a measure of contentment as we kind of continue to grow.